You trust? Okay. For that, first of all, you'll have to come with me, and I would like to ask one question. Who are you? Who are you?
A software professional.
Human being.
Okay. What more? Pardon me?
Still finding it.
Okay.
It depends on the plane we are asking the question.
Okay, whichever plane. Are you a body, you are a mind, you are a son, you are a daughter, you are an engineer, anything. Anything that comes to your mind.
Normally I am Vivek.
Yeah, that's a good answer. That's, you are consolidated with everything. You are a body, you are a mind, you have a social background. Everything gets together to form whatever you are, right? Now I would put another major question. Tell me this you, as a person, where does he live? Does he live in a physical world or a world that is virtual? I'll explain you what I mean by virtual.
Matrix.
Almost like that. You're very close. See, virtual means you say that you are 5 minutes late to the meeting, or you have waited for someone for 10 minutes. You live your entire life with the factor known as time, which is pretty virtual. Can any of you show me time? Have you ever seen time? Don't show me. Have you ever seen time in your life? Or do you expect that in next few years will you be able to see time somewhere? We all measure time, definitely. We measure time on watches. I've asked him to gauge time for me. But do you live in time? Does time exist? It's an absolute virtual factor in which you have been living for so many years by this time. And maybe you'll continue living it for a few more years. Few means maybe 100 more years. Whatever it is. Another major factor that you live with. You like things? Do you like things? You don't like things?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, each of us like and dislike things, right? Now, if we like and dislike things, by virtue of what? What is that factor that makes us like or dislike things? There is
Attributes.
Pardon me?
Attributes.
Yeah, that attributes are carried on a wonderful software known as Mind. Right?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a mind? Have you ever experienced your mind?
Yes, when it's headache.
That's a physical phenomenon. That's of your body. It is that's the reason it's known as a headache, not a mind ache. Right? So, another major factor that you've been living with till date is mind, which is absolutely virtual. Almost like Windows. Can any of you show me Windows? Not those, Microsoft Windows. Have you ever seen Windows? You work with it day in and day out, I'm sure. You have, I don't know, extracted how many millions of dollars working on those tools and technologies. It's absolutely as virtual as an operating system. Now I'll give you an analogy. You as a human are no different than a computer. You have a hardware, a hard disk known as brain, over which a virtual thing like an OS has been installed known as mind. And this mind, just like an OS, is very important because without that, nothing works. Trust me, nothing works. A brain is a dead hard disk. Do you agree? Still confused? I'll explain in deep. You have scanners. You have a touchpad. You have an audio input system. You have an audio output system. Right? There are 5 senses. All of them are connected with brain by nerves. Right? But tell me, how do you interpret it? Would you be able to interpret few colors without mind? Definitely there will be impulse. Red would send a different kind of, electric pulse to your nervous system, to your brain, but what will it be interpreted as without that software or operating system of mind? Right? So the entire analogical system that we live in is meaningless without that operating system. And just like we have different flavors of Windows and then Macintosh, we have different flavors of mind. That's the reason a human mind is different than another human mind. They interpret things differently, right? And that's the reason, obviously, Macintosh interprets one command differently and Windows differently. Whatever it is, I was making you realize all these things because there is a much more important component of this abstract called mind, which will actually carry all of us in next few minutes to a different world. Anyway, now you have already lived 90% of your life in virtual things which do not exist. Time, mind. And I don't know why people continue living it. And then they say that this world is materialistic. I don't know how materialistic are they when they say this. But anyway, when we talk of mind as an operating system, there is a very vital thing. All of you must have studied C, am I right? At some point of your life. Have you heard about a concept known as pointers?
Yes.
Pointers in C, very important thing for all interviews. Okay. Now this, apart from that, if someone has not read C for their clarification, have you ever used a pointer on a board? What does a pointer do? What is the work of a pointer?
To emphasize something.
Close.
Draw attention.
Pardon me?
Draw attention.
Very good.
Your time is up.
Okay, now we have just 1 minute to go. Okay, so now what happens is, what is the pointer of our mind? That's known as attention. Whenever you start somewhere, you say, please pay me attention. That's important because this attention is something that points all your senses, the entire mind, onto one particular location. And the best part of it is, whatever you see, hear, experience in your entire life is by virtue of this attention. So your entire OS depends or moves around where this pointer goes. It's a system pointer, it's a control pointer. That means if you have experienced in your life any time when you were reading the same line for 3 times and nothing was getting into your head, that's because probably your scanners were scanning something but your pointer was lying somewhere else. You were thinking about something else. Have you experienced this while giving into your head? And technically your mind, your brain was getting the feed. This attention, if you can move this attention from this point to anywhere on this earth, you would move there. Your senses work there. It's a reality and truth. And that's what I would like all of you to do after this point. That was the travel I was talking about. If you want to know more about it, practice it with and experiment, join me sometime. You all have my contact details and you can interact with me for this. Thank you.